The Rodg and Don Show is sponsored by Goat Sports Supply, located at 1223 Mackenzie Road in Port Elgin, Ontario, Canada. Phone number is 519-829-5612. They are open Tuesday through Friday from 12 p.m. till 7 p.m. and on Saturday from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Visit their website at www.goatsportsupply.ca. All right, ladies and gents, this is the Rodg and Don Show presented by Goat Sports Supply out of Port Elgin, Ontario, Canada. I am, of course, the host, Andrew Rogers. That is not Chris Donnelly, contrary to popular belief. No, Chris is off this week. Best of luck to his Dundas Blues, who are going up against, it was Glanbrook Rangers, I believe he was saying, that they're going up against each other in a series which has occupied a lot of his time this week. So we don't have Donnelly, but we do have Jordan McKinnon, a longtime friend of the program, you could say, but just a great ambassador of senior hockey for a very long time. And it's great to have him fill in for Chris today. Mr. Jordan McKinnon. Great to see you, bud.
Hey, Andrew, thanks. Yeah, this feels like deja vu, my man. I think maybe we've done this once or twice before in the past, but happy to be here, happy to pinch it, come off the bench and lay down a sack bunt and steal a metaphor from baseball and see if I can fill Chris's shoes for a week anyway.
Well, I mean, I know that there's no other person that I would have asked. You were my first call on it, and it just seemed to make so much sense considering your role within not only the Winterhawks, but the OEHL and old Double A. You've been around for a long time. You know your stuff, and you're very knowledgeable about the game. But yeah, I love the baseball references, WBC stuff. That Italy, USA, man. Holy smokes, that was crazy.
Yeah, that was awesome. I couldn't believe that. I thought for sure they were going to choke it away, and then they held on for dear life at the end there, and that was some good stuff. That's much more entertaining than watching spring training baseball
Or Leaf hockey right now.
or Leafs. Hey, it's too early to start drinking.
Well, I mean, depending on your time zone and where you're watching from and when you're watching this, I mean,
Yeah.
it could, very well. Like if somebody's, I mean, syndications, right? I mean, geez, I'm going to rewatch this at midnight and be, hammered out of my mind. I don't watch my own podcast back either. I can't do it.
I could never watch any of my own stuff or
No,
listen to my own stuff ever. People let me know how it was and
that's about it.
went from there. Yeah, right.
I just so for the people that are obviously new to this and kind of maybe don't know you, from having watching my podcast, obviously, you were with old WOA and then switched to OEHL while I was doing my Washel thing. So we haven't really sat down and done one of this since it was under the WAA banner. So just if you could, a little bit of a brief intro from you and who you are and what do you do?
How far back do we want to go?
No, not we don't have that much time.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm born and raised in Port Elgin kid. Left for a couple of years to go to school, but other than that, I've been here my whole life. I've always tried to stay involved in my community, and gosh, I am thinking it was probably 15 years ago at this point, and this is going to show how old I am. I answered an ad in the newspaper because the Winterhawks were looking for somebody to write website content for them.
Okay.
And as I was working in radio at the time, and I thought, well, that sounds like something I could do pretty easily and contribute and something I would enjoy and that they would get some value out of it. So I started with that. And I don't know if it was me, if I had anything to do with it, but I think we rattled off 3 championships in a row as soon as I joined. Haven't been back since, but hey, we got the 3 there, and when I started out. So I did that for gosh, 3 or 4 or 5 years, and then ended up on the executive and served on the executive for uh, maybe 3 or 4 years. Ended up as the vice president. And now I've taken over for Gord Lamont as the president of the Winterhawks effective this season. So been a new adventure this season, something a little bit different, and been enjoying every second of it.
Yeah, shout out to Gord Lamont of the skate sharpening guy down there and works tirelessly and great ambassador of senior hockey for a long time. Great man, just an overall wonderful human being. So shout out to Gord. I've had him on the podcast before, and he's just such a great mind of the game and just so knowledgeable of all the people because he basically saw them from, yay high.
Exactly. Yeah. She sharpened everybody's skates since they learned how to start skating.
Well, I find that skate sharpener guys are a lot like hairdressers. You just tell your best stories to them.
Well, Gord didn't have any hair, so he got to be a skate sharpener, I guess, right?
Well, I mean, it was one or the other, right? I mean, you
Yeah,
pick your
yeah,
poisons, right? So,
yeah.
but no, like I say, Jordan, it's great to have you on, being able to pinch it, like you said, for Chris. A lot of good stuff going on right now in the OEHL, and yeah, we might as well just kind of get right into it. We like to typically start in the South Division, and we'll start on the A side of things right now. You got the Aaron Outlaws and the Tilsonburg Thunder. This series has been tremendous across the board. A lot of really close games. Aaron 4-2 in game one, Tilsonburg 3-1 in game two. Aaron 6-5 in a tight game three and a 5-4 victory in game number four to take a 3-1 series lead. Next game in this series, Saturday, they could potentially play 3-3 if it gets that far. What are your thoughts on this series? Because on paper at least, it's been good.
Yeah, I watched a little bit of it on the Tilsonburg channel there. Good hockey. They're not taking the series off, or they're not dogging it out there and just going for a skate. They're out there to win, and it was entertaining a little bit that I watched. Benches were a little short to start the series. It looks like they've gotten a little longer here as the series has gone on, which is good to see. Um, Hoping they play 3-3 this weekend and a whole bunch of overtime and wear themselves out and leave all their energy in this series so they don't have any for the next series. Whoever comes out on top, that's for sure.
Well, and of course, yeah, there's a lot of intrigue, obviously, with the Winterhawks, which we'll get to when we switch over to the north side. But yeah, this series has been really interesting, and that was the big question that even Chris Donnelly and I had about this A bracket and what the rosters were going to look like, and if players were even going to say, "Hey, listen, I don't know if I can go for this because I don't want to put myself or my body on the line." And obviously, with the Winterhawks, they had Shelburne in the first round.
Yeah, I have to give credit to any player, ours included, that opted to play and committed to play in this series, especially the guys that get on the bus and go on the road for this. It's hard to get up after losing a first round series, and it's hard to do that and to motivate yourself to keep playing. So I've been really happy with especially our team, the guys that did commit and went on the road. And it's I think once you get going, it just that competitiveness takes over, right? So it's just getting back in. As soon as you're back in, you're back in, and it's just hockey again, and you're going. And as soon as the puck drops, it's game on, and you're going to play to win the hockey game. So, um, yeah, I think that's kind of what you saw with this Tilsonburg Aaron series, where the benches were short to start the series, and now as you look, they're 15, I think 15, 16 guys, which is not bad for this A semi. So, um,
Absolutely.
yeah.
No, and it's terrific hockey, obviously, like you say, considering that a lot of like 2 and 1 goal games, that's what you love to see. Obviously, the compete level is there. We'll stay on the south side, but we'll switch to the double A bracket, the JF Paxton bracket, and the south side, which man, are they putting up some heater of a series. We'll start Allura Rocks Petrolia Squires matchup of 2 versus 3. This one was kind of funky because I really didn't know how it was going to play out. You had Petrolia on home ice, big win in game one, 5-3, but it was messy in terms of the physicality and the fighting and everything else that took place that led to the suspensions. Obviously, you had Clayton Holzer, the leading goal scorer, suspended for the next three. Barraclough missed two. Van Eck, two of the top three scorers. And then obviously the short benches by Petrolia, a big factor here, leading to Elora winning the next three and taking a stranglehold on this series. Next game Friday in Petrolia, game 5, where the series could very well end, considering all the momentum right now is in Elora's corner.
It feels like Laura's they got their wheels under them here. I don't know if they just decide to be a cat with an injured bird in the first game of their series and decide to spot their opponent one and then kick it into overdrive. But you know what? I did watch that game in Elora. I think that was the game that you did, right? The game in Elora, game 2.
Yeah, so Petrolia was massively short in that one, thanks to Brad Marsh's Stag and Doe. I was told, but again, just because you may be short benched, these teams sometimes are so deep that even with a short bench, you could still win a hockey game.
Well, yeah. I mean, you can if you have your best player on the ice 30 minutes, it's not a bad thing sometimes, but sometimes the tank runs out on you, and especially when you're playing, especially that you're playing back to back. That's the second game in that weekend, right? So then sometimes the tank runs a little low on you. The fuel light starts blinking partway through the second period or something, and it gets away from you.
Well,
I think probably Petrolia had a little bit of that going on.
yeah, I mean, well, for that game too was Saturday at 9 o'clock. It was just a nasty time, obviously, and that's a really late start. And then obviously the Sunday game in Petrolia this past weekend at 7:30, like that's a late night for guys who have to work on Monday.
Oh yeah, that's and then I mean, you think about it, you playing for 2.5 hours. You got to get up for work in the morning. I don't know about anybody else. You get off the ice, you can't go to bed. Like you're wired for another couple of hours,
Absolutely.
and that adrenaline's pumping, and that's a tough wake up. That's a tough alarm to wake up to Monday morning, I'm sure.
Oh, it definitely is. Yeah, no, especially as you get older, it doesn't get any easier. And then the time change doesn't help you either. Little side note there. Um, but that's not the only good series on that south side. Tavistock Royals, C4 Centenaires. Man, this series had the makings of a good one, considering Andrew Masters, the goalie for Tavistock, comes off a series in which he had three shutouts and then 58 minutes of shutout hockey in game 4. And blanking Seaforth in game 1 to continue a new streak. It was Seaforth, though, coming out on top in game 2, finally solving Masters and the Royals 4-3 in overtime. And then you saw a pair of one-goal games, Seaforth 2-1 holding on in game 3. And then it was, let me see if I have this name right, because I know I do. Patrick Volgan with his second goal of the season. He had one in the regular season, and I'm pretty sure that was his first of the playoffs. I'll have to fact check that, and I'm sure I'll get fact checked. But Tavistock winning in overtime to deadlock this thing at 2. It's now a best of 3. And man, this series has lived up to it. Also, before you start, shout out to 519 Sports Online for their continued coverage of the OEHL and this series in particular. They're doing a fantastic job.
It's Game 3 of the OEHL semifinal series between the Seaforth Centenaires and the Tavistock Royals. After dropping Game 1 at home, Jared Nash's overtime winner lifted Seaforth to the win in Game 2 to tie the series. Alex Hutchison gets the nodding goal for the Centenaires as they look to take the lead in the best of 7 at home, while Andrew Masters starts in net for the Royals. Let's get into the action at Seaforth District Community Center. First period, Seaforth on the power play as the puck skips out of the zone. Lucas Bast chases it down for a break as he tries a quick shot, but Alex Hutchison denies the shorthanded bid. Later in the same man advantage, Mitch Casey holds in on the far side as he zips it to Ray Huther, who finds Kyle Stanbury for a quick shot, but Andrew Masters makes a nice save of his own. Now with Tavistock on the power play, Lucas Bast plays it ahead as Patrick Volgan works into the zone. He drops it to Brian Foster, who redirects to Bast for a shot, and he buries it. The Royals strike first in Game 3. It's 1-0. Still in the first, Jarrett Bogdan races into transition as he gets by the defender for a break before shooting, but Andrew Masters shuts him down from in tight. Late in the frame, it's a huge check at center as Zach Hatch bulldozes his man in open ice. The period would end still at 1-0. Second period, Camden Daigle receives for the entry as he fires across ice to Kyle Stanbury, who misses just wide as the net comes off for the whistle. Not long after, Jarrett Bogdan plays it to Ray Huther, who returns the favor as Bogdan one-times it off the rush, but Andrew Masters makes the save and covers up. Now with Seaforth on the power play, Kyle Stanbury grabs below the goal as he backhands to Jared Nash near side. Nash sends it to Camden Daigle cross ice for a shot, and he scores. Seaforth breaks through to equalize. It's 1-1. Shortly after that, it's a great defensive play by Colson Fisher as he dives out to poke the puck away and shut down the rush chance. Later on, Ray Huther steps up to deliver a huge hit in the neutral zone as Michael Capicato takes exception. The officials jump in to ease tensions as Capicato would be the lone man sent to the box. Still in the second, the puck gets by the diving defender at the blue line as Sean Keenapple chases it down for a wide open break, but Alex Hutchison denies him to keep the game tied. Late in the frame, Camden Daigle collects off the rebound as he races ahead 2-on-1 before shooting low, and he slides it through the 5-hole. Camden Daigle's second of the period puts Seaforth in front. It's 2-1 after 2. Third period, teams at 4-on-4 as Mitch Atkins battles for it on the end wall. He gets it to Cam Leslie for a chance in front, but Alex Hutchison denies him and covers up to halt play. Later on, Sean Chisholm chases down the puck as he intercepts the clear-out from the netminder before trying to tuck it home, but Greg Noyes gets his stick on it and the puck stays out. But that would do it as the Seaforth Centenaires take Game 3 by a final score of 2-1 on Saturday night to take a 2-1 lead in the best of 7. It's Game 4 of the OEHL semifinal series between the Tavistock Royals and the Seaforth Centenaires. Lucas Bast scored the lone Tavistock goal last night in Seaforth, a contest that ended with the Centenaires taking a 2-1 lead in the best of 7. Camden Daigle was the hero, potting both of the Seaforth goals en route to their Game 3 win. Alex Hutchison gets the nod again in net for the Centenaires, while Andrew Masters stays in the starter's crease for the Royals. Let's get into the action at Tavistock Arena. First period, Drew Girth receives in the O-zone as he fires on goal. The puck deflects to Sean Keenapple, who slides it towards the net, but Alex Hutchison gets over to make a nice stop. Later on, Devin Kropf races over the line before playing to Patrick Volgan, whose pass in front finds Sean Keenapple, who gets around the netminder, but Ruben Smith makes an outstanding play to send it off the line. Still in the first, Mitch Atkins grabs in the near side corner as he fires it up to the line for a shot, but Alex Hutchison makes the stop to keep it scoreless after 1. Second period, the puck bounces off the end wall as it skips through everybody before Drew Girth steals and pivots to fire on goal, and he scores. Drew Girth breaks the ice in Game 4. It's 1-0 Royals. Less than a minute later, Devin Kropf collects in his own end as he carries up ice before backhanding to Michael Capicato on the back door, and he pots it. It's 2-0 Royals as they double the lead. Now with Seaforth on the power play, Mitch Casey receives far side before spotting Camden Daigle, who goes to Kyle Stanbury, who plays it in front, and Jordan Wisniewski scores. The Listowel Cyclone has his first senior goal. It's 2-1. Not long after, Patrick Volgan receives in the neutral zone as he races ahead for a break, but Alex Hutchison shuts the door on his backhand try. Later on, Jordan Wisniewski spins on the far side wall before rimming it around the boards where Camden Daigle collects before going back to Wisniewski, who plays it to Jared Nash, and Nash taps it in. It's 2-2 as the Centenaires equalize. Still in the second, Braden Blake sauces it down the ice where Kyle Stanbury pokes ahead at center. He chases it down before cutting in and sliding it 5-hole. Seaforth scores their third unanswered to take the lead. It's 3-2. Late in the frame, it's a ridiculous collision as Sean Keenapple arrives at center to lay a huge check that takes both players to the ice. The period would end still at 3-2. Third period, Greg Noyes receives the pass up high as he throws it in front where Tristan Hull deflects it and it goes in. Tavistock ties it up early in the frame. It's 3-3. A few minutes later, Kyle Stanbury receives on the far side wall as his shot is denied. He finds the rebound in traffic as his second shot won't go, but he buries it on the third effort. It's 4-3 as the Centenaires retake the lead. Now with Seaforth on the power play, Sean Chisholm dishes to Carter Collinson, who fires on goal, but Andrew Masters swallows it up for the whistle and some hostilities flare around the crease. The officials jump in as cooler heads prevail. With Tavistock now at 5-on-4, Devin Krupp surveys from the far side half wall before giving to Sean Keenapple at the line. Keenapple returns the favor as Krupp hits Mitch Atkins in front, and Atkins slides it home. The Royals tie it up once again. It's 4-4, and we're headed to overtime. In the OT period, Tavistock on the power play as Brian Foster tees up Lucas Bast for a one-timer. The save is made as Patrick Volgan collects and goes back to Bast for another try, but it's deflected in front and sails high. Not long after, Sheldon Price races ahead 2-on-1 as he drags and fires, but Andrew Masters keeps the game alive with the save. Later on, Sean Keenapple collects near side as he gives to Greg Noyes. Noyes goes to Drew Girth, who fires it in front where it deflects off Patrick Volgan and bounces in. The Royals take Game 4 in overtime by a final score of 5-4 on Sunday afternoon to tie the series at 2.
Yeah, they do great work. This series, I mean, these are two teams that are just so well coached. They play great structure. They both have two studs in goal. That never hurts. But they play really, really strong defensive hockey, really structured hockey. I watched the game on Sunday on the Tavi feed there, and just a lot of, they're like these two teams that are able to keep guys to the outside. There's not a lot of panicked hockey. The puck comes in, the puck comes out. It's really good hockey, really good structured hockey. Two very impressive teams. Feels like this one's going 7, doesn't it?
It sure looks that way. I mean, again, it's that, one goal, next goal wins, tight lockdown stuff, like never giving your opponent an edge, never giving them any sort of hope, and just kind of, getting that 1-2 goal cushion and then really locking it down.
Yeah, I mean, these are two teams that know how to play defense, and they got some big boys on the back end there that know how to shut things down.
Well,
you look at the goals. Like I saw some of the goals in this series. They're just pucks thrown to the net and hoping to hit somebody and rattle off some of that overtime winner. I still don't know how it went in. It hit something.
Well, and that's just it, right? Like the greasy goals are going to win you series sometimes, and it's about who wants it more, and just who's going to dog it out there and just be a warrior and trying to finish and put it in the back of the net any which way you can legally, of course.
Of course. Well, even if it's not legal, it just don't get caught, right?
Well, thankfully for some teams, there's no video review. I've fallen subject to that plenty of times, which is not fun at all. Because everybody wants your head when that happens. We'll switch gears to the north side now. We'll start with the A bracket and just kind of briefly talk about the Saugeen Shores Winterhawks disposing of the Shelburne Muskies, ending their season. 4-game sweep. This series really kind of wasn't close. More like who is going to survive at the end of the day. Like this was kind of like, okay, we're going up against some heavyweights, but we think we have them on the score sheet, which proved to be the way it ultimately ended up going in a 4-game sweep. What did you see from this series?
I first of all, I like we had a good solid core of about 12 guys who were really committed, and then we sprinkled in some other guys who were available here and there, work commitments and other things. We weren't obviously asking guys to take a whole lot of time off work for this series. I don't want to sound cocky, but I think we were pretty comfortable that we were going to win it. It was just getting through it and getting through it without anybody getting hurt, which I think we've succeeded in doing. It was a good way to get some positivity back in after going out 4 straight against Durham, and it was obviously a bit tough to get motivated again after getting swept, but once we got rolling, it's just hockey again.
Absolutely, well said. I want you to talk about the newcomer who potted a hat trick in the finale game there. That was a big moment for him.
Hudson Wiles, that's a name you're going to be hearing for a long, long time. I knew he was going to be good. So Hudson, I played with Hudson's dad, Benny, in beer league for many years. And kind of the rule with our team is once your kids are 15, 16 years old, they can start coming out and joining us for our Sunday night skates. Well, Hudson started joining us when he was about 13 or 14. He was that good.
Oh, wow.
and he would just dominate. He's just a not a big guy, but he is so smooth on his skates and his edge work, and he can fly up and down the ice. And I knew he was going to be good. I didn't know he was going to be 5 points good. But it was awesome to get him in there. Awesome to see him in a Winterhawks jersey. It's going to be awesome to see him in the next series against. It'll be probably a much more even series, I would expect. So it'll be interesting to see how he does against some tougher competition.
Absolutely. Winterhawks awaiting the winner, obviously, of Aaron and Tilsonburg in that Hugh McLean A championship, which I think either opponent would be a fantastic series, no matter who comes out on top in that one. Switching now over to the double A bracket, back to the JF Paxton and the north side here. Just, unbelievable stuff from both of these series. We're going to get into Elmvale and Minto in a moment here because there's some big stuff out of that series. But Durham and Ripley, this one I had a lot of excitement over, and I think it's lived up to the hype thus far. Two juggernaut teams just going toe to toe. A lot of offensive power on both sides of the coin, and excuse me. Apart from the first game, Ripley winning 8-5, next three games have been relatively close. But Ripley, after dropping game three, which was kind of, I mean, I don't know if I was expecting it necessarily, but I was like, oh, okay, where it looks like we're going to get a series here. Ripley turns around and then takes game four to really put Durham right on the ropes here.
Yeah, I think I, I I had high hopes for this series too. Obviously, two just absolutely high-powered offenses that can just score at will. But I mean, Ripley's so deep.
They
They're
are.
just so deep that you can't take a shift off against those guys. It doesn't matter. If you can find a way to shut down Garrett Muirs, there's Ethan Skinner and there's, Cody Britton. I mean, you go down that list. That's such a deep team. And, Durham's finding that out. You think they got him. They thought, they probably were feeling pretty good about themselves in game four and thinking that they were gonna be able to even the series up, and then boom, 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 and then they're down 3-1, right? So um, that's just an impressive team. One thing I do want to point out, game four, Garrett Gawley left early in the first period with an injury. From what I've heard from people that were there, it didn't look good. So that's something to keep an eye on the rest of the series. But obviously they have Jason Hamilton as well. That's no slouch in net. He's been around forever and won a million games and a million shutouts. So, but just if Durham can get back in this and they got to play three in a row, that might be tough for a guy like Jason Hamilton, who's been, he's a veteran. He's not a young guy like Garrett Gawley.
Well, they've been running a tandem all year and it's been very successful. So obviously you take one of those tandems out and it could be a big seismic shift. Want to also bring up the fact that this league, the OEHL, had a viral moment go pretty popular there, thanks to number 28, Luke Uhrig. What were your thoughts on it? Everybody's seen it.
That shot filed a flight plan before it took
Oh,
off.
so good.
It may still be in orbit. I'm not sure. He ripped that thing. It was an awesome shot. A great kudos to whoever was working the camera back there to
It
catch
was
it perfectly.
impressive, eh?
Yeah, yeah. I looked at the stats on that. It's almost at a million views.
Yeah, that is
Uh,
so crazy. And obviously Coach Chippy was the one who put it up or whatever. And I maybe bar down. I'm not 100% sure, but the shot was bar down because there's a clapper from the hash marks, which is a rarity. You don't really see that very often. A guy coming down Broadway like that and just ripping. And in Durham, and just the crowd went electric. And it was just like such a cool moment. And for it to be captured and then spread like it did, it was awesome.
I love moments like that. That's just when everything comes together, right? Those are the moments that are just it's awesome, and it was an awesome shot. It was awesome camera work. It's just the perfect moment.
Hey, and that's why we do what we do in terms of media and coverage in this league, and obviously as well, how much has it's grown. I'll get into that at the end of the podcast. We'll talk about that a little bit because obviously I want to ask you some league stuff and just kind of your perspective on that, and maybe if you have some insight on some stuff that maybe people don't know. But yeah, thoughts and prayers obviously for Garrett Gawley that it's not a serious injury and we will see him back at some point. But before we get too sidetracked, or any more than we already seem to have in this podcast, we'll switch over to Elmvale and Minto. And, this one really, really surprised me for a number of reasons. Elmvale, after a sweep of the Georgian Bay Apple Kings, that one kind of surprised me. I'll be first, like everybody knows, it's well recorded that I chose Georgian Bay in that series in 7 and ate my words. Had them spoon-fed to me, as a matter of fact. But Minto coming out and sweeping Elmvale, this was not a result that I expected at all. Expected this to go to the distance 100%. But for Minto, the crazy thing about this, so with this 4-game sweep, they've won all 8 playoff games that they've played. They've won 16 dating back to January 3rd, their last loss, January 3rd, an 8-1 drubbing at the hands of Ripley. And then everything just seemed to turn around like a complete 180, 360, whatever the term. And the trains really have been rolling, and it's been impressive to watch.
It's Saturday night OEHL action as the Minto 81s get ready to host the Elmvale Harvesters in Game 3 of their playoff series. Minto currently leads the series 2-0 and are looking to take a commanding 3-0 lead with a win tonight. Let's hit the ice from the Palmerston District Community Center complex. First period, Minto's on the attack. Keaton Willis has it in the corner. He plays it along the boards and behind the net. It's centered to Caleb Warren in front. His shot's turned away, but Keaton Willis is there to put it home on the rebound. Keaton Willis scores his 5th of the playoffs as he opens the scoring for the 81s. It's 1-0. A few minutes later, Minto tries to play it out of their end, but Austin Pope fires a quick shot from the slot. Jonathan Reinhardt is even to it, and the refs would call the play dead. Shortly after, Elmvale is on the power play as Chase Herford is breaking down the ice. Herford fires a shot and he finds the twine. Chase Herford nets his 3rd of the postseason as the 81s add on shorthanded. It's 2-0. Not long after, Minto wins the offensive zone faceoff. Liam Hurley finds Aiden Yard in front and he buries it. Aiden Yard picks up his 2nd of the playoffs as the 81s extend their lead. It's 3-0 at the end of the first. Second period, Elmvale is in the O-zone as Riley Pitt has it at the blue line. Pitt plays it along the boards and it goes behind the net. It's centered to Austin Pope in front and he snipes it home. Austin Pope gets his 2nd of the postseason as the Harvesters get on the board. It's 3-1. A little later, the 81s are now on the man advantage. Ted Nickel has it along the far side wall. Nickel waits and then sends it across to Jordan Alexander, who puts it in on the one-timer. Jordan Alexander has his 5th of the playoffs as Minto capitalizes on the power play. It's 4-1. A few minutes later, Minto is on a rush as Mason Cone works in. Cone drops it back and it's sent on net, and Chase Herford has a chance in front, but Noah Fanshago is even to it. Shortly after, Elmvale wins the O-zone faceoff and Riley Pitt fires it from the point, and he finds the back of the net. Riley Pitt delivers his 7th of the postseason as the Harvesters get one back. It's 4-2. Now later in the period, the bouncing puck finds its way to Ted Nickel, who's breaking in. Nickel rips a shot and he fires it top shelf. Ted Nickel has his 1st of the playoffs as the 81s respond. It's 5-2 heading into the third. Third period, the stretch pass finds Ted Nickel in behind the defense. He can't get a shot off, but the refs award him a penalty shot. On the ensuing penalty shot, Ted Nickel skates in. Nickel works to the net and goes to the backhand, but Andrew Best stones him. Not long after, Minto is racing down the ice. It's sent across to Blair Butchert in front, but Andrew Best stretches across and robs him. It's now a race for the loose puck as Jordan Fuller picks it up in the corner. Fuller centers it to Jacob Kelly and he beats the goalie. Jacob Kelly gets his 11th of the playoffs and the Harvesters won't go away. It's 5-3. Now midway through the period, Elmvale continues to press as Derek Sweeney plays it to Ryan Young. Young goes back to Sweeney in the slot and he snipes it home. Derek Sweeney picks up his 1st of the postseason as the Harvesters get within 1. It's 5-4. A little later, Minto has it in their own end and Owen King intercepts the pass. King works in and rips a shot and Austin Pope has a chance, but Jonathan Reinhardt dives across to keep it out. Now late in the third, the Harvesters have pulled their goalie for the extra attacker. Minto wins the faceoff and Ted Nickel fires it down the ice and into the empty net. Ted Nichols' second of the night puts the game away for the 81s. That would do it as the Minto 81s take game 3 6-4 over the Elmvale Harvesters on Saturday night.
Clayton picks it up in the neutral zone. Minto brings it in behind the net. Back to the point, kept in by Gibson. Oh, turnover behind the net there by Lushak, and it's wrapped in. Hurley grabs it from Lushak. Murphy loses his stick. Shot from a bad angle. That's taken it back out to the point. Shot, scores. Gibson from the point. Seeing eye shot. Andrew Best couldn't see it. Started with a wide angle shot. Ended up behind the net and then out to the point. Sends it across. Lushak shoots it. A rebound. Harvesters couldn't find that rebound. In the zone, Kelly at the blue line. His shot up high over the net. Lushak back. He slaps it. Ends up behind the net where Young's got it quickly out in front. Shoots, goal! Jacob Kelly on a nice feed. Backhand feed from number 96, Ryan Young, and the Harvesters have cut the lead in half. Shot hits the ref, it deflects. Warren keeps it in the blue line, gets it to Verbeek. Shot from the shot, scores. Captain number 81, Warren, able to pick up that rebound. There was a scramble in front of the net. Shot, Best made the initial save, but from the 81s, Warren cuts to the middle. Over to Nickel. Nickel's shot stopped. The scramble off of Pierce, who's on his knees in the crease. Warren shoots it off of Pierce's shoulder, ends up in the back of the net. He'll come out across the ice to Palamaki. Palamaki shoots it, knife to the side by Reinhardt. Minto will pick it up, jump it out to center. Oh, Franson's stick breaks, shot, scores. Franson tried to pass the puck. Stick broke in his hands. Knocked down by McCazick. He'll get it back and bring it in over the blue line into the Harvester zone. His shot knocks the stick out of Redgate's hand. He's trying to find it. Butcher over to Cone. Shot, backdoor, scores. Nice pass by Cone. Over to Herford. Backdoor, and he taps it in with 1:08 to go. It's a 6-1. Minto chips it in. Penalty coming. Now we got to fight. In the corner. Quickly back out to Lushak. His shot's blocked by Henderson. Henderson's away. Verbeek will leave him. It's a breakaway. Shot, scores. Henderson. Hasn't been tested much, but been good when he had to be. Herford tried to hit Yardy on a break, but that misfires. Yardy will be able to pick it up. He goes wing side, back door, scores Herford. And that will do it. As the final buzzer goes.
Yeah, that's a team that just, when it's time to put up or shut up, they put up. Like, they know how to win. They know how to win hockey games. They know how to win series. If you give them an inch, they'll take a mile. And I think they got Elmville on the ropes early, and they smelled the blood in the water, and I think they just took it to them, decided they weren't going to let them up, weren't going to give them an inch, and they just, I mean, they throttled them. I mean, there's a couple close games there, but by and large, it was all Minto. Like from what I saw, it was all Minto.
Yeah, and I mean, again, like you had some close games, Elmville with some opportunities late to try and get back in the hockey games late when it was just a matter of it was too late a push at that point. Like Minto does a really nice job of locking it down when they need to. And obviously their big backbone in net is Jonathan Reinhardt, and he's just fantastic. He was great in this series.
Oh yeah, he's a stud. He's gosh, if you stacked up all the goalies in the league, he would be top three, maybe. Like, I mean, like, he's incredible. And yeah, it, I mean, certainly when you're Elmville spotting them 5 goals, 6 goals, that's you're not getting that many by Reinhardt. So
No.
whoever, whether it's Durham or Ripley in the next round, is gonna have to pay a little closer attention to the defense and make sure they don't spot Minto those leads because you're not getting it back.
No, absolutely. Minto, two-time defending champs for a reason. Caleb Warren, the big captain there, just a great guy all around. Got to give him his flowers. I had Blair Butchert and Chase Herford on here, and we couldn't stop talking about the guy because he's such a fun-loving guy. He's always got a smile on his face, and he leads by example. Just and obviously produces on the ice, puts up big goals in big situations, and I think he's just exactly what this league needs in terms of an ambassador and a leader.
Exactly. You need those guys that are going to be positive, and those guys that are going to lead by example. And that's exactly what you want in your captain. You want that guy that's, not only going to put up the points and do all the little things, but the guy that's going to be there at practice, and the guy that's going to be the first one in the room, and the guy that's going to be rallying the other guys to come on the road and all that sort of thing. That's what you need in your captain, because that's, hey, that's senior hockey, right? Everybody's got stuff going on. So
Absolutely. But yeah, leader by example, and obviously his team very successful. Next graphic we're going to put up here is your top 20 points leaders. I know this I posted and it circulated, of course. Miles McLean, what a series against Shelburne. I understand that the stats were a bit inflated considering he put up an 8 spot in one of those games, but it's wonderful for Miles because I know how hard he works, and obviously even Brent McDermott, 18 points as well. The big dogs really showed up and it shows, but they got to be feeling really good heading into this A final because of how stat well they've been doing.
we certainly needed a few pucks to go in the net. It was we had well, let's call it what it was. We had a really lousy last couple of months from about Christmas on, when everybody started getting hurt.
Right.
And so it wasn't a great atmosphere, I guess, around the team heading into down the stretch there. So to get back and get some pucks in the net, and sorry to Shelburne, but we kind of needed that one. So
I feel like I feel like there's a lot of confidence in that Winterhawks room right now.
Yeah, I think so. And we're just gonna heal up a little bit here for a week, and hopefully Tilsonburg and Aaron wail on each other this weekend, and we'll be ready to get going. It sounds like we're going to have a full bench for that A final. So,
do you have a projected start date for that A final as of right now, or is it too early?
It's too early because obviously we don't know who we're playing,
right?
And home ice depends on who comes out of that series. So,
of course,
as far as it'll be the weekend of March 20th, 21st, 22nd.
Right. So it could either be Friday or Saturday.
Yeah, it'll be one of those. Yeah, Aaron will have home ice, we think, if it's Aaron, and we'll have home ice if it's Tilsonburg. So that will dictate a little bit of it too. So
yeah, because then I'd imagine it'd either be a Saturday Sunday or a Friday Saturday thing for 1 and 2. If I would,
we're hoping, given the travel involved in the series, we're hoping to play some earlier games. And
I know they have. I know they have some pretty early times in Aaron. I know they got a lot of flexibility there. Tilsonburg, maybe not so much. I'm not 100% sure of that.
I don't know. We don't have much either, but minor hockey's winding down here, so hopefully we have a little bit.
That will certainly help.
Yeah.
Right on. All right. We at this point in the juncture of the podcast, we're going to switch over. We have an interview for you I interviewed and sat down and spoke with Justin Graham of the Durham Thundercats. We're going to cut to that now. You're watching the Rodg and Don Show, powered by Goat Sports Supply in Port Elgin, Ontario, Canada. This is my interview with Justin Graham. All right. Yeah, the Rodg and Don Show, and very, very pleased to introduce our guest on this week's edition of the podcast. Long time Durham Thundercat, one of the OGs, if you will. Shifty, he goes by, and if you watch him play, it lives up to the name. Number 8, Justin Graham of the Durham Thundercats joins us. Grammer, good to see you, buddy.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me on. Love everything you've been doing. So, yeah, no, I'm excited.
Excellent. Like I say, very happy to have you on. Obviously your team was much of the focus all season long. We'll get to all the elements of that, but right now, yeah, you guys are in the thick of it against Ripley. How are things on a personal level though? How you doing these days? Life going pretty crazy? Everything good though?
Yeah, no, everything's good. I got a little 9-month-old now, so obviously that changes things. When you're used to your pre-practice, pre-game naps, but you got a little guy to kind of feed and enter that daddy life with. So yeah, that's changed a bit, but still loving hockey, still going to the rink every night, liking it, and yeah, having fun with the little guy. Been taking him on the ice after, just like my uncle did with me when I was a little guy and he was playing for the Thundercats. So we already kind of talked about full circle before, but another full circle kind of moment there where I'm starting to feel a little old now that I'm the one carrying instead of being carried.
Fair enough. Yeah, and that's actually a good segue. So congratulations, obviously, first and foremost. That's awesome stuff, and I'm sure you're crushing it as a dad, no question about it. But yeah, speaking of caring, I want to talk just a little bit. If you could kind of indulge me here, that top line of yours of LeBlanc, Uhrig, and Weiser all season long have been just crushing numbers. How impressive has that been to be witnessing that firsthand?
Yeah, like you said, they've been so fun to watch. Even when they came to our first couple skates in the summer, you could just tell they had something special together. And we got the kind of front row seats to the show. Like Weiser's my rookie, so I've been kind of having him under my wing, and it's been fun just kind of seeing what they get up to, the compete level they have to always keep going, and just kind of the things they come up with, the goals they score. Uhrig just got the one that went viral there.
I
I think
saw
about
that.
800,000 now. So, and then LeBlanc obviously is a pure goal scorer himself too. And then they got that Weezer kind of working the corners and getting in the dirty areas for them. So no, it's great to watch.
Excellent. Yeah, Luke Uhrig, that goal was unbelievable. That bar down, just an epic clapper from about the hash marks. I mean, that you don't see that very much nowadays.
Yeah, no, you can tell, especially yeah. Now that I'm older, these young guys, yeah, they know the special way to shoot, and yeah, it just comes off their stick, and yeah, they always seem to be aiming for the top.
Absolutely. But yeah, it's funny because you guys had such a good year. You put up 140 goals in 20 games. That's just unheard of. You only allowed 72, almost doubling your goals against. Again, and a solid season, 14-6. Nice solid first round for you guys. Leading into this colossal matchup against Ripley. Through 4 games, what's your assessment on where you guys are at, and how are you going to prepare for these next string of games in this series?
Yeah, no, like if also we feel like the outcomes could have been a little different, but that's kind of playoff hockey. So I feel like we were competing well. Like this league always comes down to always penalties and power plays. So I think we just got to stay out of the box a little bit more and then capitalize on our power plays when we get them. But I feel like we're right in the mix. So we're hoping to kind of have a clawback time now and kind of get the ship righted.
Absolutely. And yeah, it doesn't become any tougher when you have to go back into Ripley on Friday, Friday the 13th. Hey, Durham, Ripley. Awesome. Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah.
It should be a great night in Ripley for that one. Do you find like I mean, I don't know, is Ripley a tough barn to play in? I've only been in it the one time this year, haven't been in it a long time, but as an opponent, do you find it a tough barn to play in?
Yeah, not tough, just different, I guess, in a sense that it's a lot smaller than we're used to at our home rink in Durham and most of the other
Right.
rinks in the league. But I feel like even playing in junior C before this, there's always that kind of one rink that's a little smaller, which you can use to your own advantage too, right? Like for an old guy like me that's starting to get a little slower, it's kind of nice having smaller ice surface to get around. So we just got to kind of keep going on the small ice surface and just adapt a little different than the way we're used to in some of the big rinks in our own rink at home.
Absolutely. Adaptability is everything. And obviously, yeah, you guys, backs against the wall, down 3-1, but never say never. Comebacks are pretty wild in playoffs, so you really do never know. It's funny talking about playoffs. So before we got started on this, like you and I kind of narrow paths, I want to say, kind of started all at the same time. Your first year with Durham, my first year being able to call a play-by-play game, and that was Durham versus Saugeen Shores in the playoffs of 2018. Your first season there, calling game 4, your guys' sweep, and the other Justin Graham on the team at the time, 22, not 8, scored the winner. And I don't know how much you exactly remember of that. Do you recall a lot? Because like there's a lot of connections still to this team today.
Yeah, yeah, no, like you said, yeah, me and the other Justin Graham, yeah, we were on the ice together. I was right behind him when he poked it in. So, obviously, it was a big relief. Once being able to sweep Port, but even to beat Port, obviously they've kind of had a number before
Yeah,
those years of me just even following the T-Cats and watching them.
right,
But yeah, like you said, there's a lot of connections still where the goalie in that series or backup goalie was Scott Klugelin, who's our coach right now.
yeah,
Billy Terpstra would have probably been on the ice when
yep.
Grammer got the goal, and then Jeff McMillan as well playing there. And yeah, it's weird seeing them in the coaching role, and then myself kind of going into their roles of kind of the vet, where back then I was the rookie in my first year,
Right.
looking up to them. So kind of switch roles, but still nice to have them around, and they've been a big asset for us.
Absolutely. Familiarity seems to be really the calling card, especially of your club, considering the roots go real deep. For yourself, I couldn't believe this. It's like every year that you played in Hanover, the 6 seasons you spent there, and then every year you've played for Durham, playoffs every single year. And the numbers don't lie. You tend to play some of your best hockey come playoff time.
Yeah, that's always what you kind of want to see from your players. So I try and lead by example, but that's when it's all on the line and you're supposed to be kind of bringing your best. So it's obviously kind of a level up from the regular season. So it's always fun going out, competing and knowing that you got to get a couple wins or else your season might be over. So it's always fun to kind of jump in. The intensity usually jumps up too. So and the crowds as well. So it's always fun to kind of jump into playoff hockey from the regular season.
Absolutely. Those 6 years though, playing in Hanover had to be really special for you. Does any like one moment stick out in particular for you when you think back on that time?
Yeah, lots. Like it's a big commitment. Honestly, I was 16 when I started there and 21 when I left. So I was the first one or the first team when I was 16 to be in the new rink there
Okay.
in Hanover. So that was kind of fun to have that amazing room. But a lot of good friends, a lot of good memories. We were able to reverse sweep the Patriots. I forget what year now, but we were down 3-0 to them and we were able to come back and win 4 straight. So that usually sticks out. But other than that, just a lot of the friends and people I met along the way. Our best buddy Malcolm, who just unfortunately passed away. He was security there, and really helped me along, my 6 years, always giving me kind of fist pump when I was going up to the Blue Line Club. But yeah, it's just nice even seeing them at work now, and I'm still in the community. So there's always some good stories to be shared.
Absolutely. I think that's really cool how the junior connection can really follow you through to the senior circuit. Obviously, I'm sure there are plenty of your teammates that are even still playing, correct?
Yeah, like I'm playing against like Tyson Stores right now.
Yep.
So I played with him for 4 or 5 years in Hanover, so he's a little water bug out there, but it's always fun to play against him. We're both competitive. So it's always good to see him on the ice, but better seeing him off the ice when we can actually be friends again. So
Fair enough. Yeah. Like, what is that? Like, how would you do that? Like, I don't play, obviously. And I mean, being a hockey guy, like, I try and understand it. But, I know that you guys battle on the ice and you compete for 60 or however many minutes it takes. But then afterwards, it's all mutual respect. Is that an easy thing to just flip of a switch?
Yeah, not easy. Obviously, if you lost, it's kind of hard to kind of go talk to your buddy, but that's why we love this game. You can go on and compete, really play each other or any of your friends hard, and then no matter what the outcome is, you'll be able to have a good conversation, catch up. He has a couple kids now too, and some of the other teammates I've played with and played against after. It's just always good to catch up. And yeah, it's tough putting it behind you, but it is just a game. So it's just nice kind of seeing them after it's usually been a while. So just nice to catch up with them.
Absolutely. When you look back at the whole entirety, I guess, of this Durham Thundercat era of yours and your hockey career, essentially senior hockey career, um, do you have like particular fond memories of that as well? Like, was there a time when you were like, at the pinnacle of it, or is that kind of happening now? Like at your age, do you just maybe have a different appreciation for it?
Yeah, no, you nailed it there. It's kind of ebbs and flows of each year, right? When I first came in, we were at the top of the league, ended up losing in the finals. But just kind of the guys, we had songs on the bus, really had a close group. And then throughout the years, we still stayed close, but obviously different guys kind of came in and out, and then guys roles had to shift. So from myself, Trev Houston, and some of the other guys that came in that year, now we're the vets. So. It's really just kind of, yeah, switching roles up. But throughout each year, yeah, you still have, fun on the bus, playing schnarps and cards, telling stories and, just having fun with the guys.
Absolutely. It's always fun whenever I talk to senior hockey guys. They usually say that a lot, like, oh, the locker room and the family brotherhood atmosphere is just something that, they always treasure and, obviously miss once they, finally decide to hang them up. Let's talk about Kyler, the captain, longtime guy, been there a long time. I'm not sure if he's been there as long as you. Maybe he has, maybe he hasn't. I can't remember exactly, but captain, stalwart, plays a ton of minutes. How impressive is he as a teammate and maybe just as a general man, human being?
Yeah, no, yeah, you see it on the ice. He's amazing at what he does. I believe in his 11th year. He's a couple years on me. I think I'm on 8 and he's on 11. But
Okay.
yeah, he's one of those guys that seems doesn't to be affected by his age. He keeps doing what he's doing since he kind of entered the league. But like you said, he's been, yeah, amazing hockey player. He's won at every level. Um, Junior C All Ontario, Junior B All Ontario, and then lost in I believe a game 7 overtime in junior A. So he's a proven winner. So we're, lucky to have him kind of on the ice with us as a captain, and then off the ice, kind of, leading the charge and making sure everybody's kind of, involved and excited to be there. So yeah, I don't know what we do without him. So he's definitely a big, big asset.
Yeah, he's just, and like I say, such a humble guy too, because I don't, it's funny because like guys in that kind of position can maybe be on one ledger or the one side of the ledger or the other, right? Like they can be cocky and arrogant or humble and appreciative. And I think he's the latter.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, like yeah, he wouldn't go bragging or kind of going off on anything he's done on the ice, even if he, had, 4 or 5, 6 points as a defenseman, which I'm sure he had a couple times this year, and even being up in the mix for the total points in the whole league. One to even be up there, but two to even be up there as a defenseman is pretty impressive.
Yeah, 45 points, just unreal. And then obviously it was quite a competition there between Brody and Luke as to who had finished first in scoring. Brody ultimately taking that with 61 and Luke with 58. Again, just remarkable stuff. So obviously, yeah, you guys practice this week. What is the message going into that? And what is going to be the mindset of your group to claw back and, again, get right back in this series?
Yeah, no, we'll have a good practice this week and just kind of get our touches in, get back to the fundamentals, and then practice some special teams. But really, yeah, just kind of staying loose and just believing in ourselves, not looking too far ahead, and just kind of concentrating on, one game at a time. So we're gonna try to go into Ripley, and then our goal is just to get it back to Durham for Saturday and kind of bring our big crowd out and hope for the best.
Absolutely. One game at a time. Well said. The last question I want to ask you before I let you go, because I know you're tight for time. Um, the question I always like to ask people is about their hockey upbringing. Maybe take us back to those first few days of when it was, time for you, when you were getting your feet wet when it came to hockey, and who is your biggest supporters, or who do you owe your hockey career to?
Yeah, no, that's a good question. Obviously, it's usually, yeah, it comes down to family. I remember being younger in the unfinished basement, rollerblading through paint cans that were set out, kind of stick handling through them, with my dad kind of showing me the ropes. And then kind of fast forward, I remember going to the Durham Thundercat games, thinking it was the NHL, even buying like a Florida Panthers jersey when I was younger and just seeing kind of my uncle play. So he kind of drove me with that as well. And then, yeah, just kind of continuing on, really just doing it for the love of the game and kind of seeing, where we could go and just having fun with teammates and yeah, kind of just kept moving forward. Obviously it was a big help for mom and dad with all the driving they had to do. You start realizing that when you get older. But yeah, really just kind of the parents, my Uncle John who played Thundercats, and then just a lot of the guys that you grow to become almost family with that you want to you get excited to go see on a Tuesday night at 9 o'clock when you're not going to be home until 11 or midnight. So yeah, no, it's been fun and yeah, excited to keep going.
Well, hey, listen, one of the best things about senior hockey is how those kids look at you guys as if you guys are heroes. And I know your son is going to continue to look at you like you are one. And when you play your game out on the ice, you're one of the best. You stick out, and you're just a fantastic hockey player, fantastic person. And you guys have had a great year this year. And I know that you're going to make this a series here. So best of luck on Friday and the rest of the way in this series. I know we'll talk soon. Good luck, and thanks so much for doing this. We've been talking with Justin Graham, number 8 of the Durham Thundercats, here on the Rodg and Don Show. Thanks so much, buddy.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, folks. Back here on the Rodg and Don Show. Of course, myself, Andrew Rogers, alongside Jordan McKinnon, filling in for Chris Donnelly this week. Much appreciation to Justin Graham for popping on with us. Just a tremendous guy. Been there a long time. Another great ambassador of senior hockey and the OEHL. Thoughts on the interview, Jordan?
The thing that I love about this league and senior hockey is you got guys like Justin Graham, and we were talking about Kyler Nixon there, and those guys have been around forever, and they're able to stick around forever if they can, right? Junior hockey, they're 3-4 years, 5 if you're lucky, and they're gone. We got what's Justin say there, his 8th year.
Yeah,
And
so he played like 6 years with Hanover, and then it was 8 years with Durham, and I think Kyler's at 11.
yeah, that's awesome. Like that to be able to build that kind of that kind of long standing player commitment is a tough thing to do. And we've had it in Saugeen Shores. Gosh, Brand McDermott's part of the furniture. He's been around for so long. I think he's playing it. I think something like his 21st season of senior hockey. He was in Lucknow before he came to Saugeen Shores.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so he's been around forever. Just actually, happy birthday, Jeremy. He just turned 46, which is incredible. He's still scoring over
Excellent.
a point per game.
Beauty.
Um,
Didn't he hit
that's what I love. Yeah,
Didn't he hit a
that's what I love
milestone
about.
this year too? Or did he come up short on that one? Wasn't it
Uh,
400 goals?
he's just shy of 400
Okay.
points, which why I
Or
don't
400
think
points. Right. Okay.
I don't know that he'll be signing his retirement papers this summer.
Extra motivation.
Yeah, he's coming up on a couple milestones that I think he's got circled.
Beauty. He's just a great
Uh,
guy and obviously a big
yeah,
leader.
yeah, those McDermotts. That's pedigree, man. Those guys, doesn't matter whether Peter's kids or Paul's kids. Those McDermotts are awesome hockey players, all of them.
Oh yeah.
And we've been lucky to have Dermy for as long as we have because he's just so consistent and so smooth out there. And getting back to Justin though, I love
Yeah.
that. I love that commitment from all those years. Look how we get sidetracked. And yeah, like that group they built in Durham there. Like you have those veterans like Justin and Kyler and these young kids that have come in. That's a really special group they got built there. And I think, they were in the McLean Trophy last year, and now they're a contender, and that's that's a blueprint, I think, for everybody else, is the way they've been building.
Well, and I love the fact that he had to allude to the fact too that Scott Klugelin was the backup back in 2018, and now he's the head coach. Jeff McMillan's on the bench. He used to play. Derek Matheson was on that 2018 team. He's back now too. Like Billy Terpstra, like talking about all those guys, like Quentin Bruce and Hutchison, and it's just the list goes on and on and on. It was so impressive. It was really neat to get his perspective on all of that. Let's switch to this upcoming weekend. A lot of games here to go over. On Friday, Tavistock in Seaforth, 8 o'clock, game 5. You have Durham and Ripley at 8:30, and then you have Elora and Petrolia at 8:30. Friday the 13th, gotta love those games. Saturday, March 14th, you have Ripley and Durham for 6 if necessary. That goes at 5:30. Tilsonburg, Aaron, 7:30. That's game 5 in that series. You have Seaforth, Tavistock, game 6. Petrolia, Laura, if necessary, game 6 on Saturday at 7:30. Durham, Ripley, 2:30, game 7 if necessary on Sunday. Aaron, Tilsonburg, 7 o'clock, game 6 if necessary. And then obviously you have a couple weekday games there on the bottom of that schedule. I guess which games will you be most intrigued by this weekend?
Well, you know what? I really enjoyed the Tavi Seaforth series. That's one that I think be really, really good to see. Um, the other one, I want to see how Petrolia answers back here on home ice after getting their rear ends handed to them a few times here. That let's see if they've got it in them to push back here and get back in this series. Hey, Petrolia teams are tough. They're always tough. That's a tough part to play in. I would imagine they're not going to go out quietly. So those are the two games, the two South games. I think are really, really interested to see.
Absolutely. For me personally, I'm really expecting a kickback from Durham. I think they have a lot of motivation going into this game 5, and I think they're really going to make it an interesting thing. I don't think they're going to let Ripley just have it. So, that sort of thing. We got a little bit of time here left. Just final thoughts from you, and just reflection, I guess, at this point in the season.
Yeah, it's been obviously I'm in a new role, so it's been an eye-opening thing for me, just kind of seeing some of the things behind the scenes and all the other things that go into pulling all of this off. That's what really amazes me, when you see the number of people working behind the scenes to make everything go as smoothly as humanly possible. It's really impressive. I've been so impressed with the quality of hockey. I mean, there's so many good teams in this league. We were talking at our executive meeting the other night about, we're trying to project out our roster for next year and talking about all the teams we have to go through just to get out of, just the teams in Bruce County right now. It's incredible. And Gray Bruce, because there's so many good teams, and that's the biggest thing. And I've loved the commitment from so many guys to come in, and and it's feels like gone are the days of the guys that come in and play their 5 games and play in the playoffs. Feels like everybody's playing 15, 18 games and playing the whole season and going on the road, which is awesome, because that was I remember back in the WA days, by God, you'd have really good teams, but they would take 11 guys on the road, right? And they'd have a 500 record, and then they got the full roster in the playoffs, and the playoff matchups would get a little wonky because it wasn't a true representation of seedings, which I think we got this year because the top teams were the top teams all year.
Well, I can't think of a way to better end a podcast than with that answer. It's tremendous stuff. And like, that's what I appreciate most about having you come on and guest spot for us, because of your insight, because of your hockey knowledge, your senior hockey background. You know so much about what's going on, and you have an ear for this stuff, and just a knowledge that not a lot of other people can say they have.
Well, I've been around a long time, so that is one thing. Yeah, so I appreciate that. That's it's nice to hear. Just keep on keeping on, and these just trying to do my thing and make sure that not just our team is successful, but the league is successful. And I think we got something pretty good here. So we're just gonna keep plugging away and keeping doing what we can to raise the profile of the league, and yeah, so that's where I am.
Excellent. Like I say, we value you. We appreciate your work and hard dedication because we know you wear a lot of hats and are tirelessly busy. And then obviously you have your own life and your personal life on top of that, which I can only imagine is stressful, just like everybody else's. But like I say, at the end of the day, we here at the Rodg and Don Show, and myself included, very appreciative of you and obviously coming on and guest spotting for Chris Donnelly for us this week is fantastic. And we definitely hope to have you on again at some point because, we'd love to be able to do that. Maybe once the season wraps, we can have you back on, discuss season wrap kind of thing. Maybe do a roundtable in the future. I think that would be a really cool idea. But like I say, we really appreciate you coming on and doing this for us. Thank you.
I appreciate the opportunity. It's nice to do something like this again. It feels kind of like my old life a little bit. So I appreciate it. I appreciate the kind words. And anytime you need me, I'm just a message away. So keep up the good work as well. I really enjoy the show and keep doing what you're doing because I know everybody at the league appreciates it.
Thank you very much. This has been the Rodg and Don Show with myself, Andrew Rogers, and Jordan McKinnon spotting on for us, powered by Goat Sports Supply in Port Elgin, Ontario, Canada, the new sponsor for the program. Make sure to give them a shout out and check them out. They got a lot of good stuff going on, located right outside the rink at the Plex in Port Elgin, and the new Sportsplex there, or new quad, or whatever you want to call it. yeah, that's it.
They're a broken stick away.
That's it. And they'll make sure to repair it too. And they got lots of good stuff going on there. Jack does a tremendous job. So great to have him on board. But we'll see all you guys next week. Chris Donnelly returns, I believe. So make sure to like and subscribe and follow along. And you've been watching another episode of the Rodg and Don Show. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Take care. The Rodg and Don Show is sponsored by Goat Sports Supply, located at 1223 Mackenzie Road in Port Elgin, Ontario, Canada. Phone number is 519-829-5612. They are open Tuesday through Friday from 12 p.m. till 7 p.m. and on Saturday from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Visit their website at www.goatsportsupply.ca.